In this video, we will start to explore how you can use a choose function. And the choose function is a slightly complicated function, and you might wonder, why would you use the choose function? Well, the choose function is very important to solve an issue with VLOOKUP. However, I will go into that in another video. I want to first explain how the choose function works, because will be your most important understanding. Once you understand this, you will solve an issue with VLOOKUP. You don't need to worry anymore about anything else. Alright, so let's start with that. So what is the choose function? Basically, the choose function will help you to reorganize a table. Yes, so for example here, we have this here. And very commonly, if you really look at this table, it's not a clever way of structuring. Why? It's more logically if you have the product ID first, the secondly would be the product name, and finally the amount of items sold. So how can we reorganize this without using copy, paste, or adjustments on a tab? Because it might be very common that you have data from a different source and you're not allowed to adjust anything of the data. So it's forbidden, it restricts you. The only thing what you're allowed to do is to calculate and make formulas with the data. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to use formulas to reorganize the table without copy and pasting. Alright, to do this, we need to use the choose function. It's very important. So let me start and show you first how we do it. We're going to type an equal, choose, open parentheses, and once we did that, you will see some options. You see the index number, and then you see the values. Alright, remember, choose is focused on columns, so you can only use values of columns, and I will show you exactly. So for example, what would be the order that we want? Well, the first case would be, of course, this one here. Right, this would be the first order, this will be the second order, and then the third order. To make a clear example, I will just select I will show you exactly how you can do the first one. So for example, we want this product in here. Alright, so we select choose, and then we say index number 3. So we said we want the third column being shown in the first place. Alright, so we type in comma, and then we select the values here. We select this value, and then we have a comma, then we select the second column value, comma, and we will select the third. Remember, the third was indicated here as the first one, so we type in enter, and now, as you can see, you have the values being displayed from the third column here. Alright, so now we have this. And maybe you say, well, this is nice, but I would have to do 3 times this. Would not make sense. That is correct. It does not make sense, because the choose function is far more intelligent. And let's start and reorganize them in one formula only. Alright, so what we're going to do is the following. We will have to make, as you can see here very carefully, you see this is an index number. What is an index number? Or you can see the value here is not an array. So we have to convert it into an array. And if you ask me what is an array, well, an array is basically these here, a list of values. So we have multiple values. And normally you would do an array, you say like this, but no, that's not possible. What we need to do is we need to use specific brackets here. We're going to use these curly brackets to indicate in Excel we have an array. So there's multiple values. Alright, let's start and go with that. So now what we want to do is to make it very clear, this here will be the first one to show. This should be shown as the third one, and this should be number 2. So that's the order we want. Alright, to do this, let's start and work with the choose. So we say here, we want to show first the number 1. Alright, and what we will do here, we're going to put in curly brackets. Open and close curly brackets, and within here we're going to work. And you can see here as well, then I say comma. So which one do we want to show next? So this is first, so the third column will be shown second. So we say number 3 here, and then finally the second column as last. Alright, So as you can see here the formula, you will see it here as well, 1, 3, 2. Type in enter, and now you can see we get our table in the way we want this. And this becomes very important. Why? With this you can use it in VLOOKUP. However, this is extremely important. I highly recommend you to watch my other video regarding to this, where we cover exactly how you use this. Because you might say, well, I don't want this double text on the template. Well, no need. You will not really put it in the template. If you use the formula in here, in VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP basically, it stores it in the memory, and the memory will use it without showing it here. And that's really wonderful. It's one of the finest and quite advanced Excel function that I highly recommend. Please watch my other video related to this. If you like tips and tricks like this, and you want to know more about Excel, subscribe to my channel. And maybe you still have questions about this, because I don't blame you. This is a quite complicated matter, but one of the most powerful ones and useful for you. Put your comments below with what you're struggling with or your question below, and I'll make sure I'll get back to you.